Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to do the daily check-in. I'm going to just report something on Israel, and then just my thoughts on a celebration that's happening today. Everything sounds fine. Let's hope it actually goes through, because this is quite a few takes tonight. But we'll get it flowing a little bit more. But on a serious note, there is misinformation that's been sent out about Gazans being killed by the Israeli military with the food distribution, which is misinformation to discredit Israel. Let's watch it together. Naftali Bennett posted this.
Morning, all world media reported a huge lie. They said that Israeli tanks opened fire on food distribution centers on Gazans and killed 26 Gazans. This did not happen. It's simply a lie. We looked into it. At no distribution center or near any distribution center, no one opened fire. I'm here near Gaza, just a few kilometers away. It's fake. I urge you to refute this, share this video, and we have to stop this lie.
Okay, please share it. That is misinformation, disinformation that's going out. It's a lie, and it has to be stopped. This type of thing has to be stopped, because it is painting a narrative to discredit the Israeli military as well as the operations in Gaza. So please share that and share the right information. Share the truth, because history is written by truth, not lies and propaganda. The truth will always come out. So on that point, I just want to share some thoughts on what's happening. There's a celebration, something called SHAVUOT, which this is the celebration of the Jewish people receiving the 10 Commandments at Mount Sinai. Okay, so how the story goes, they come out of Egypt, they get to Mount Sinai. Moses goes up to the mountain, spends time with God. God writes the 10 Commandments on tablets. Moses comes down to present it to the people. There is a story for those that know that it happened twice, but we're just going to focus on them receiving the 10 Commandments. So this is something that is celebrated every year for the Jewish people and the Jewish nation to recognize and to celebrate them receiving the Torah from God at Mount Sinai. So one thing to note here is the whole nation received it all at once. It wasn't one person that was in a cave somewhere. It wasn't one person on a road somewhere. It wasn't a person that was in a forest somewhere. This is a whole nation that received it, and chose to follow it as well. So now I'm going to jump forward to Paul's writing, the New Testament. Remember what the channel's about. It's creating a strong Israel and a Jewish people. Okay, now the New Testament tries or does discredit the law, for instance. Okay, where Paul would write that the law brings bondage, and he uses other terminology, and that, so I'm paraphrasing, and that, so I just want to focus on just how, in my mind, I try and say, okay, we've got the law that the Jewish people received, at Mount Sinai. The New Testament then goes and says, well, the law was perfected in a person, a human person, being Jesus. So he fulfilled the law, and because he fulfilled the law, he is totally righteous, and he can now be a human sacrifice to take away the sins of the world. So in my mind, there's two things that I try and think about. It's if Jesus was God, he was already perfect. So did he think about what law would have needed to be written down so that he would actually come down to fulfill that, so that he could actually then go as a human sacrifice to take away the sins of the world? Okay. So how do we then need to choose on a daily basis to do the right thing? Because if I go and break the law, this moral law, or the law that God had laid out, all I need to do is just go and receive the human sacrifice again. So when you start thinking about it that way, you kind of are not encouraged to use your free will to do the right thing all the time. Because if we just take an example, like two examples just from what the law is. The one is do not murder. So you need to choose that. If we look at what happened on October 7th, that clearly wasn't followed. So in the backdrop of this, sacrifice has been given. Okay, I'm taking it to the extreme, but that is pretty much what is taught. Okay, and just by the way, if you look at the Islamic movement, they took the 10 commandments out of the Quran so that they could debate or see what is acceptable and what's not acceptable. So when it comes to murder, we all know to advance Islam, it's allowed. Okay, so if we take another one, to honor your mother and your father. Okay, so if you don't choose that, then you just need to go back to the sacrifice. Okay, so for me, trying to make sense of all of that, it takes away the responsibility of a human being to live correctly. Okay, so how Paul had written it out into the New Testament that the law is bad. You need to do away with the law. And that's contrary to what God said in the beginning, where he says, don't add to this or take away from it. So those are my thoughts. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Put your comments on. I do look at it. If you don't agree, let's talk about it. And for those that are celebrating it, happy SHAVUOT. And we will see you on the next one.